For the second session, I will continue in English because we have very special guest from Singapore, Mr. Ryan Ching, who will present from planning to execution best practices for supply chain innovation. Mr. Ryan have more than 10 years experience as supply chain consultant or business development in logistic and supply chain industry, focus on supply chain optimization, warehouse operation, and transportation management consultancy. So let's welcome Mr. Ryan to present the material. The stage is yours, Mr. Ryan.
Thank you, Bu Indah. Selamat siang semua. I really appreciate Pak Nyoman for inviting me. I think for Bu Indah as well to be our host today. And also I think basically Pak Nugroho and Samsudi as well. I think they set a very nice benchmark for me already since the 2 sessions ago. So basically today I'm going to share my screen, what I can do now. Okay, so today we are focusing a little bit on this. So basically our company is called Slimstock, Asia Pacific, currently in Singapore, but our direction is we are going to Indonesia. Okay, today's topic is about best practices for supply chain optimization. Okay, just like what Bu Indah mentioned just now. So this is a slight introduction of myself. So basically I've been in logistics, I've been in 3PL, doing warehouse transport. I've done ERP implementation. I've done warehouse management. I've done transport management. I've done freight management implementation. So currently my company, I'm focusing a lot on supply chain optimization, from automating demand forecasting all the way to making sure that you have good service level and you don't have excess stock. So basically I do support a lot of companies. I give, basically it's like more of a free consultation to see what I can do to help them, so that they get the right tools and strategies. Okay, so today we are going to go through a few of these. I'll make it simple because we only have 15 minutes and it's a Saturday. So I don't want to overkill with more content. So for a lot of us today, I think all of us here, we are involved in supply chain. So I'm just going to give a quick overview. The next thing is basically I'm sharing some of the case study or more of the feedback that I hear from all the prospect or customers I have. What kind of complications they are facing right now? How do they move away from this? And what kind of impacts are they looking at? So today I'm going to focus on first topic. Subsequently, there'll be more interesting topic in future. But today I'm going to talk about automating stocking policy. For every single company that keeps inventory, the biggest question all the bosses will ask, what should we keep? Okay. And then of course, last but not least, what kind of benefit are we looking at? What kind of benefit is there for inventory optimization? Okay. So if you can see this slide, I think supply chain actually is quite straightforward. You can have first from the suppliers, the primary sector. You can have potentially some people here will be in the parts, component, distribution, manufacturing, may not in the automotive. I think just now Pak Nugroho is in F&B. Okay, that's a potentially secondary manufacturing sector. There'll be people who is in retail, customers, distributors. So that's tertiary sectors. So if you see here, it seems very simple as a supply chain. But if you dive into more detail, supply chain can be very complex in a way. Every stage, someone is a supplier, someone is a customer. Between the stages, you might have value-added service. You might have one central warehouse. You might have 3 regional warehouse. You could have directly sent to the store. Or in some cases, you do vendor-managed inventory. Okay, with the more complexity starts to kick in, yeah, the question starts to kick in. At what level do you need to stock? Okay, what's the demand for every single location? What's your strategy? Is it a pull and push? Okay, a lot of companies, they do a regional planning, they push everything down. But does it work? So do you apply a combination strategy? How much stock do you need to keep at every single location? And basically, if you have all this information, what does a KPI mean to you? I think just now I saw some questions like, what is the KPI? How can we get the KPI? What does the KPI show us? So basically, these are a few things that we need to consider, yeah, in terms of the complexity. And when the complexity starts to kick in, You could basically just compile what few of the most commonly shared challenges that a lot of my prospect customers or my customers are saying. First one, they have a lot of SKU. If you're in automotive, it's very unique to automotive, a lot of SKUs. If you're in F&B, not so much. But tapi you have shelf life, expiring date kind of issues. Second, a lot of companies I spoke to, they're still using Excel. So much manual, it's still time consuming. The third one, historical data. 2020, 2021. I don't think you can use the data. 2022, now 2023 already. Can you still use this kind of historical data? Some customers tell me they can't because it's not representative. I do have some customers, they are still using ERP. They go by Excel after that and then go by a fixed min-max. The challenge in min-max is a very static kind of planning. Okay, so to them, they need something more dynamic. They need something that is responsive to the market. Okay, lead time change, they can't detect the trend, they can't detect the seasonality. The biggest, another more common reason that tell me is actually the company has been doing that for X years, 10 years, 15 years. The company doesn't want to change. So that's actually quite a common thing that we hear. But if you bring it to another side, what's the implication if you have all this? Company have excess stock. Company phase out of stock. You don't have inventory, you have to fly the items in. It's a high rush order cost. You have service level penalty. You lose the customer, you lose your sales. That's the biggest challenge to a lot of customers. Yeah. So that brings us to the first point, where to begin. Okay, and then how to achieve our KPI consistently. So here we have three. Today I'm going to focus at the first one first, portfolio management. So to bring you guys through basically portfolio management, yeah, itu maksudnya all the items that you guys are having, what your customer can buy from your company. It could be a different strategy. Kalau if you're doing retail, your strategy could be, I want every single SKU that I can find in the market because as long as the customer wants it, I want it to be there. It's a strategic decision. Okay. From this strategic decision, you start to come back into a tactical decision. How do you support this management strategy? Do you need to apply different strategy? Do you have, how do you want to plan this with your supplier? Do you have items from central stock? Do you want to put a local stock nearer to the customer? Or in some cases, do you want to put a vendor management inventory at the customer side, like consignment? Okay. So with all this, yeah, the complexity in the planning, it becomes even tougher, which is why before any company starts to do any distribution or keep any inventory, yang paling penting itu, what's your stocking policy? What's your stock rules? So basically stock rules are what do you need, okay, to account for, yeah, when you want to decide stocking an item. It's not based on, okay, my boss say, do this, I follow this. It's not say, okay, I have a gut feel, I feel that it's going to be this. Kita butuhnya itu data. We need something that can justify the reason moving forward. Okay, so if you see here, so I actually break down into this. So basically, if you see here, these are 6-box model. Okay, 6-box model on the left is a decision basically, do you stock or do you don't non-stock? If you go home now and then you review all your article or SKU, potentially you find them into different quadrant. It could be item yang in the new quadrant. It could be item that is already mature, udah berapa tahun. The inventory planning or in terms of the demand is quite stable. It could be some items that is end of life. Udah, the demand, udah consumptionnya udah turun. Maybe the automotive, the model is already out from the market. You don't need it anymore. So at every single stage, you need to apply different strategy. Okay, because your stocking decision change from time to time. Dari new, maybe you don't keep stock. Mature, you start to keep stock. End of life, you don't want to keep stock. Okay, I usually share to customer, yeah, kalau when they come in, very important for them to look at is dari new item. New item is very responsive. Okay, it's a very thin line for a new item to be excess stock or out of stock. Okay, you need to manage this on a daily basis. Okay, you need to be very agile because if you don't do anything and you you fail into monitoring this, it could be dari new immediately to end of life. Okay, so if you go home and start to do some homework about this gun, you potentially could see that items will move in certain direction. Okay, you can see your inventory will start to go up and down depending on the different product life cycle. Okay, so basically, I just lay out all the different reasons. I'm pretty sure a lot of you will hear this before. Yang pertama, we sell this fast-moving item. We sell this so many times. Second, this is high revenue item. It earns a lot for the company. Okay, we earn a lot of profit margin. We have a lot of customers. We have these to A customers. I can return it to supplier. There's so much reasons that someone is using it. Tapi, if you look into a current market condition, yeah, all these are basically a more verbal or human gut feel. Okay, they have been doing that and they always look at one parameter. If I can throw 20 parameters to you, can you use your current way to make it even better, automated? Okay, so basically these are one example. How do you turn all these reasons into a process to automate it? Okay, so I give you one example. Yeah, so this is basically what our team will support. So basically, if you see this is a stocking policy. What you can do is you can turn all these reasons into yang pertama, criteria. Yang kedua, what's the weightage? It's like a scoring system. Yang ketiga, what's the boundary? We need to talk to the management. How do they decide what is the boundary for every single reason? Then you give a score. So if I don't recommend do this in Excel every day, but if you have a tool like us to help you, it will be perfect. Because sekarang kan kalau kamu lihat itu, for score 8, I don't hit my boundary, I get 0 point. Okay, for basically the number of order lines. Okay, so if I help you to do this, basically you can see what's the scoring system. Kalau dari 50 ke atas itu stock item. Tapi kalau 30 to 49, basically, it's a gray area. Should I stop? Should I non-stop? It's for the team to discuss. Okay, kalau 0 to 29, basically I don't need to keep stock. And what if I can tell you to automate this? Every single month, the system, someone will help you to automate this. Anytime your score change, your result change. So it saves you a lot of time. You see, from just now, you see the six box model. You can see some items is always moving up and down. Your stocking decision is always adjusting. It's a dynamic situation. It's not a static situation. Okay. So if you see this, if you automate this, this is basically opportunity. First one, you dynamically adjust your stocking decision. You respond to market trend. You respond to season. Okay. Imagine kalau Christmas or Hari Raya just over, potentially certain items you don't want to keep stock. Okay. The second one, basically reduce inventory and storage costs. When I have more items that I don't keep stock, actually, I don't have so much holding costs. I don't keep so much in my warehouse. My company save up a lot of money to do something else. Okay, so the last one is basically what we always share to customer, time savings. If you can digitize this, you can automate this. Imagine you have 10,000 SKU and we can help you to reduce 80% or 90%. It must save up so much time. And I think management by exception is basically what Partner Graha said tadi. You have a signal, but what do you do after that? What is the follow-up you need to do? As much as you can get a report, but you don't understand what is the next action, there's no point. So basically management by exception itu, you need to translate the signal to someone to follow up. Okay, so basically this is more a quick one for today's session about optimizing your assortment. The next session, this is like a Marvel movie, post-credit. Next session, we'll talk about optimizing service level. Okay, so basically this is my profile. Let me know if we can help you. I'm visiting Jakarta next 2 weeks, 15 sampai 26. Let me know if you want me to drop by our office to just do a catch-up. I'll be there. If you want more information, there's actually our website, www.slimstock.com. feel free to visit us.